Republicans are intentionally starving children. No, that's not clickbait. Let me explain to you how and why. So in the United States, children of poor parents get their school lunches subsidized. This basically means that the government pays for the school lunches of children that parents can't afford to feed them. This is because, believe it or not, it's really important in a child's success in school and after school to not be starving. And this program and programs like it have been proven extremely successful, not only in reducing child hunger, but also in reducing other things like crime, attentiveness in school, academic attainment. Basically, it's just a positive thing all around. I know guys, a real controversial take right now. Children don't deserve to starve. Now, that's not what I'm talking about today. These programs have a small pitfall. During around 3 months of the year, during the summer, these children still have to eat lunch, and their parents aren't any less poor. So recently, a bill was passed that federally funded summer food programs for children who couldn't afford lunches in school. $2.5 billion was allocated to serve around 21 million children. By the way, $2.5 billion seems like a large amount, but for the United States, that is nothing. 21 million children is a lot though. So the federal government is basically saying, here states, we're gonna give you a large pile of money to feed children. Now, what do you think the Republican governors of 15 of those states did? They rejected the money. They didn't reject to use their own tax dollars to pay for the kids' programs. No, they were being given this money by the federal government for free. Republican governors in 15 states rejected the new federally funded program to give food assistance to hungry children during the summer months, denying benefits to 8 million children. The money is already allocated. They're not being asked to spend their own tax dollars. These are the states, if you're wondering. So now you can decide whether or not you can be very angry at your governor. So what is the reasoning as to why these Republican governors are doing this? Well, there's a few different ones actually. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds, it's Reynolds, isn't it? She said that she saw, it's like the she sell tongue twister. She said that she saw no reason to introduce the program that helps food insecure youth, quote, when childhood obesity has become an epidemic. Those starving children and their gluttonous need to get food. And Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen said, I don't believe in welfare, as his reason for rejecting the already paid for money for children. And a lot of other Republicans complained that it was wasting money on our already overfilled budget. So let me explain these points and why they are wrong and just completely counterfactual. I'm guessing that a lot of you can understand that these points are psychotic, but if you don't understand that, I'll explain why I think they're psychotic. And if you do think they're psychotic, maybe you can get some information and facts to explain to people why they are psychotic. First, obesity. About 13 million children in America live under food insecurity, and you're rejecting it because you think the children are already too obese. 13 million children in the richest nation in the world is unacceptable. But okay, let's talk about obesity. It is an epidemic in America. But believe it or not, programs like these actually reduce obesity. The stats and studies show it. Obesity in America is caused for a lot of reasons, from food deserts, to stuffing unhealthy ingredients into food, to cheap and easily prepped food being a lot more unhealthy. Programs like these allow children and adults to access healthy food. You can see on these maps that there's a very interesting overlap between food insecurity and obesity. The maps look almost exactly the same. Maybe they are connected to a third thing, which also has an almost identical map. Poverty. Poor people in America do not have access to healthy food. That is for a lot of reasons, for things like food deserts, to costs, to prep time. And programs like SNAP or school lunches are statistically proven to help alleviate those issues. And I'm not going to get deep into it, but just in case you guys don't know what a food desert is, there are large areas in the United States which don't have access to fresh goods or grocery stores. They only have access to things like dollar stores. These areas that don't have access to healthy grocery stores are almost always poor and majority non-white. And because of this lack of access, to get healthy food, they often have to drive further using gas and time that they don't have, often working multiple jobs. If you are poor, these people want you dead. They want to squeeze every bit of work and labor they can out of you, while your children don't have enough to eat and you die early because you can't afford healthcare. Now to the people who are complaining about the cost. The people that say that the government is wasting money and doesn't have the money to spend because of their budgetary issues. Before I get to the next part, like and subscribe and comment if you want, if you like the video and whatever, or anything you want to comment. It helps the algorithm. So, to respond to this, let's just pretend you're the type of person who only cares about the numbers and the money and gives zero shits about children going hungry. Pretend you're that person for a second. Even if you are a person like that, you would be in favor of this program. This is because this program literally pays for itself. Not only pays for itself, it makes the government extra money. Food supplementary programs for poor people save the government money in multiple ways, but especially if they're targeted at children. There are a lot of reasons, but here are a few. The first is that people eating healthier results in lower healthcare costs. The people who benefit from these programs are already poor, and because of that, they're less likely to have healthcare or good healthcare. So when these people get sick, it is the government who ends up having to pay for them, which costs taxpayer dollars. The cost of keeping someone healthy is a lot lower than treating someone who's already sick. And you know what else sick people don't do? Work. And when they don't work, they don't give the government taxes. Again, we're thinking from the perspective of someone who only cares about the numbers. The programs targeted at children also have been proven to lead to better educational outcomes, and in turn, more productive people. The two biggest influences in how successful a child is going to be are access to healthy food and clean drinking water and a safe roof over their head. So because of that, programs like this knock out one of those and increase graduation rates. More educated population, more productivity, more money, more taxes. And the consequences of that are also lower crime rates. This is because, again, children who have food are able to learn better, do better in school, have more options to be successful, and therefore are less likely to participate in crime. And crime is expensive. Prisons are a huge burden on the taxpayer. Crime, the damage from crime, huge burden on the taxpayer. The amount of police we have in America, huge burden on the taxpayer. And you can reduce all of that by feeding children. Even if you're a literal psychopath that doesn't care about children and only cares about money in the budget, even those people are pro this. They're pro these policies because these policies make money. It's not because they care about finances, it's because they hate you. They hate poor children, that's why. They hate you. This is so infuriating. It's so infuriating because there's people that have policies that I think are bad and harmful, or politicians who will hurt the regular person to make money. And that makes me pissed off too. But this is one of those situations where no one benefits. I don't get why. Is this a virtue signal? Who are they virtue signaling to? What is their supporter base that hates children? Like these politicians are often paid by farm lobbyists, and these farm lobbyists make money because these food programs are funded by subsidized crops. Even their donors make money. They just hate poor people. It's actively malicious. The final reason that was brought up was being anti-welfare. Now, the previous reasons explain why that's stupid and why welfare benefits everyone. But again, we're gonna put ourselves in the minds of a psychopath. Let's pretend that you hate children, you don't care about children, and you don't care about the numbers or the government making money. You care about people living in a meritocratic society, and you believe that the people at the top deserve to prosper and thrive, and the people at the bottom deserve to fail and die. Let's pretend you're that much of a psychopath, and all you care about is true survival of the fittest, which is kind of the ideology that a lot of these anti-welfare politicians say to people. It's the ideology they push. We live in a meritocracy, and the people who win deserve what they've gotten, and the people who fail and lose deserve what they have too. If that's what you believe, and you believe America should straight up be the Hunger Games, you would be against this. First of all, America is not a meritocracy. You can see that through income mobility in America, which is basically how many people who start out rich become poor, how many people that start out poor become rich. The amount of benefits you get in America by starting out wealthy are immense. And it's not just your parents giving you money. If you have money, you're in better neighborhoods, which have better schools because schools are funded based on housing taxes. Your parents then might pay for college. And your parents, they have connections, so therefore you get better jobs. There's a bajillion ways how rich people have an advantage in this country. In other countries, college is free, but not in the United States. Also, other countries do this for the same reason why food programs are good. Having a more educated population results in more money, so it actually pays for itself. But America hates poor people. But pretending that you're a psychopath and pretending that the rich people don't have an advantage, which they do, and pretending you believe that poor people deserve what they get and they deserve to die and starve. They're children. We're talking about children. It's not their fault that they're poor. If you believe it's a poor person's fault that they're poor, it's the parent's fault. So why is the child being punished for the parent? Like I said, they're children. See little Timmy right here? He's 6 years old, pisses his bed once a week. What do you want? You want him to go to Walmart with the shopping cart and buy groceries? With what money? How is he supposed to get the money? Even if he could push around a shopping cart and use a credit card, where is he gonna get the money? You want him to work? He pisses his bed once a week. Kids these days are so lazy. They're not even working at Walmart at 6 years old. Can you believe it? Such lazy children. They deserve what they get. They deserve to starve. Those jobs that are like under 20, 7 years of experience. It's what they want. It's what they want. What do you want, someone that picks their nose to be making your Taco Bell burrito? I don't. All that the success of Minecraft has taught us is that children yearn for the mines. I mean, you have Roblox literally using child labor already, so they're ahead of their time. Except for they're not paying them with real money, they're paying them with Robux, but that's another discussion. Like I said, the obesity thing doesn't make sense. There's no reason it actually reduces obesity. If you care about the budget, it makes back its money and more. If you care about meritocracy and hate welfare, well, first of all, we don't live in a meritocracy, and also, they're children. They can't work. It's not their fault. Like I said, all their reasons are lies. It's not those. It's because they hate poor people, and they hate the children of poor people. They are the party of death. The Republican Party is the party of death, and they hate you. Now, I do have to acknowledge that not every single conservative governor rejected this. The majority did, but not all of them. And I give credit to the ones who aren't literal psychopaths that are rejecting free money for children. Even though I shouldn't have to give credit for that, because it's psychotic that anyone rejected it. But if the majority of your party's governors rejects free money simply because they want poor children to go hungry, maybe you should look at that. I hate how a lot of people, mostly liberals, will say stuff like, don't say the other party's evil, they're not evil, they just have different opinions, when they literally do evil stuff like this. I know my outfit and the lighting has changed, but that's because I'm recording this on another day. But anyways, making this video, I've noticed something very interesting. The people who start those moral panics that are like, protect the children or support family values, are the same people who are against programs that feed children. They'll say all day, save the children, protect the children, but then will actively deny free money being given to them to feed children. Like the people who are against trans rights or gay rights and call all trans or gay people groomers are the same people who are protecting child marriage rights. Or like even for abortion, the anti-choicers, the people who are saying, save the children, protect the children, save the babies, will at the same time literally deny free money to feed children. They aren't pro-lifers. Once you're born, your life is irrelevant. It's not about life, it's not about protecting the children. It's about control. For abortion, it's about controlling women and forcing them in the place that they believe they belong, being subservient homemakers and childbearers. For trans and gay rights, it's not about protecting children, it's about forcing people into the roles in society they deem acceptable. It also poses a threat to the control they have over their children. Letting children express themselves and identify how they want takes away the control they have over them to force them into the box that they want them to be in. These people often view their children as their own property, not as an individual person. And for child marriage, it's of course because girls are easier to control than women. And for what we've been talking about, welfare for children or things like free public education, it's because they want to keep the advantage that they have over you. They want the dirty poors to be in their place, to work their shitty jobs with shitty conditions and shitty pay. And the poors being able to rise out of that takes away the control they have over you to force you into that situation or starve and die. And for public education or free higher education, it's because they can't control the information that their children get and deciding what they think or believe. Like I said, they don't care about children, they care about control. And everything they do and everything they support continues to show that over and over again. Anything that threatens their control is perverted and degenerate. Some might be nicer about it and say, hate the sin, not the sinner. But they still think that you're degenerate, and they'll still work to enact policies that prevent you from freely expressing yourself. They'll say that they're doing it to save you, but by save they mean control you and force you in your place. And because we talked about abortion and how the right wing and conservatives don't really care about children, I do need to bring up one of my favorite quotes that says that in a very precise way, specifically for that topic. It's a quote by a Methodist pastor named David Barnhart. "The unborn are a convenient group of people to advocate for. They never make demands of you, they're morally uncomplicated, and unlike the incarcerated, addicted, or the chronically poor, they don't resent your condescension or complain that you're not politically correct. Unlike widows, they don't ask you to question patriarchy. Unlike orphans, they don't need money, education, or childcare. Unlike aliens, they don't bring all that racial, cultural, and religious baggage that you dislike. They allow you to feel good about yourself without any work at creating or maintaining relationships. And when they are born, you can forget about them, because they cease to be unborn. You can love the unborn and advocate them without substantially challenging your own wealth, power, or privilege. Without reimagining social structures, apologizing, or making reparations to anyone. They are, in short, the perfect people to love if you want to claim you love Jesus, but actually dislike people who breathe. Anyways, don't vote for Republicans. And if your governor rejected the funds, I guess, like, you know who to complain to. And unironically, it does kind of counter the point when people are like, oh, Democrats and Republicans are exactly the same. You shouldn't vote. They're exactly the same. Which is like, I think you go for the less children starving candidate than the more children starving candidate. Because if you have less, that is better than more. Which sucks that we have those choices. They want you dead. They just want you dead. They want to kill poor people. That's all it is. They want to kill minorities and poor people and trans people now too. If you enjoyed this video, then another video that I think you would enjoy is this video I made on the controversial political history of the Supreme font. I know, it's a weird topic, but it's a really good video. It's probably my favorite video. Or you could watch the most recent video I've uploaded, which will be right here. Pick one of the two.